Okay, so like with every other version, these are going to be achievements that are temporarily missable in that they are available during the story, but if you miss them here, you're going to have to wait until these enemies show up again in other modes of the game. And like always, I highly recommend getting them during the story, as they do tend to be much easier than compared to getting them in the Memory of Chaos, for example, as these bosses will have millions more health. So the achievements in question are going to be the following 4 achievements. The first 2 are going to be against the weakened version of the final boss called Savage God Mad King, Incarnation of Strife, and you'll fight him 2 times during the story, once early on and another time around the midpoint of the story. These achievements are called Supreme Glory and Death and Halted battles. Then the next 2 achievements will be against the final boss called the Giver, Master of Legions, Lancer Fury, and you're only going to have 1 chance to fight him here near the end of the story. That said, I'm going to teach you guys a trick on how to safely get these achievements, so don't worry. Okay, so let's start with Supreme Glory. In a single battle against Savage God Mad King Incarnation of Strife, attain the maximum 2 stacks of glory for all allied characters. So this is super simple. During the battle, the boss will perform a move, Valorous Death, before Glorious Return, and you'll know when he does this because you get a number 1 icon above all of your characters. If you use a skill or an ultimate, you increase this number by 1, and all you really need to do is get everyone to 2 stacks before the boss's next turn. So just make sure that you have enough skill points or energy, and that's it. Now, once everyone has 2 stacks, you'll notice that the achievement doesn't pop up. So that's because you need to finish the fight for it to pop up. So if you want to play it safe and lock it in, all you need to do is pause the game and select Retreat. Now, it's important to note here that you have to pick Retreat and not Retry. If you pick Retry, the achievement will pop up, but it won't save to your account. If you pick Retreat, however, you'll get the achievement to pop up and it will save to your account, which is great as it now means that we can try for the second achievement without worrying about making sure that we hit this first one in the same fight. Okay, so now for the next one, Death and Halted battles. In a single battle against Savage God Mad King Incarnation of Strife, destroy their war armor and Titanic Corpus. So for this one, I recommend playing a follow-up team or a team that's really fast, as you want to be getting off as many hits as possible in a short window of time. So this boss starts the fight with 7 stacks of armor. You can see this under his health where it says 7 out of 7, and this armor is his war armor, and you need to hit him 7 times before he takes his turn in order to break this war armor. The reason why we want to be hitting fast is because if you let him take his turn, he'll cast an ability which changes his war armor to Titanic Corpus, which is 12 stacks of armor. So we want to make sure that we can get 7 hits before he takes his turn. Now upon taking his turn, he will use that ability and he will gain 12 stacks of Titanic Corpus, so we want to break this as well. The Titanic Corpus is a little bit different in that the stack reduction is based on your glory stacks. So if you use a skill to bring your glory up to 2, then every hit you do after this point will strip 2 stacks of his Titanic Corpus instead of 1. The thing with this achievement though is that you're not going to see the achievement pop up during the fight, so you will need to end the battle in order to get it. The fight does go straight into a cinematic though, so you won't get a pop-up. But once the cinematic is over, you can go into your achievement menu to see it there. Of course, if you're paranoid, you can always just use the retreat method after you break both armor types to force it to pop up and save. Okay, so now onto the final boss, which has 2 achievements tied to it. So the first one that I recommend you go for is the Conqueror King. After the Giver, Master of Legions, Lancer Fury uses the Vanquished Behold Woe, destroy or conquer or be conquered with the same character. So for this one, during the fight, the boss will use an ability which reduces your maximum health, and it's also going to spawn copies of your characters impaled on spears on its side of the field. All that's required of you here is to kill all of the copies with 1 character. It doesn't have to be in 1 turn, you can take them down 1 by 1, as long as it's the same character that gets the last hit every single time. So I just used my Acheron on this one, but you can use any AoE character that's strong enough. So you can also go into this fight with 1 character so that you only have to kill 1, so just do whatever is easier for you. Just like last time, if you want to lock in this achievement, you can retreat from battle, and that's going to pop up the achievement and save it to your account. Alrighty, so now for the last one, Shattered Battleground. When facing the Giver, Master of Allegiance, Lance of Fury, cause the Fallen Feeds My Might to fail to absorb, conquer, or be conquered. So this achievement is only obtainable during the second phase of the final battle. In this phase, when the boss summons copies of your characters, you want to destroy them all just like the last time. The only difference this time is that they'll be using the glory mechanic for stack removal. It shouldn't be too different though, so just do what you did last time to kill all 4 copies while keeping the boss alive. You want to make sure that the boss stays alive long enough to use his ultimate ability, the Fallen Feeds My Might, and as long as you have no copies when this move goes off, you should see the achievement pop up, signaling that it is now safe to end the fight.